Do you think your experience of the pandemic has changed the way you view the world? We all had our experiences, good or bad, but we were all in it together in one way or another. There was that analogy, same storm, but in a different boat. Well, all this week, we're meeting people who've shared their stories in a new book. It's called Unlocked: Portraits of the Pandemic, and it's been written by local author Millie Stone. And today, from that book, we're going to meet ICU nurse Laura Kirby-Deacon. She's been telling me what those early days in the Great Western Hospital in Swindon were like.
I've lived a life. I've travelled the world with the Air Force. I was involved with the Gulf War. But I don't think anything could ever prepared me for working in the conditions and, the extremists of everything that we were sort of faced with on a daily basis. Yeah, I don't think there's words that you can put out there that will actually make people understand and appreciate how hard it was.
Yeah, because not only are you caring for critically ill people in ICU, you're also trying to protect yourself from COVID so you can keep caring, which made the working conditions, it must have been so hard to wear all the kit, to constantly be washing your hands, before you even consider the emotional toll you were under.
Oh, yeah, it was hard. Wearing PPE, sometimes you were in it for 8 hours at a time before you could even get out to, go and spend a penny or grab a drink, really. So, yeah, it was really hard. And then, we hit a really hot spell in the weather as well. So that just made things even more unbearable. But it's just I don't know what happens to us as people, but it's just something that we just think, right, you know what? You've just got to do it. So you do it.
Yeah, you dig deep. You obviously had to dig very, very deep. Do you think the experience and what you went through has changed you as a person?
I think it's changed my outlook. I think it will, it's definitely made me have, so much more compassion for people who have lost people through COVID and they couldn't be there, in their last dying moments. To me, that was the unimaginable side of COVID that, unless you've been through that people just can't relate to. But I wouldn't, I would like to say that my nursing values and as a professional, it's not changed me. If anything, it's probably enhanced me.
Yeah. Your aspirations, have they changed? What you hope and dream of, has that changed?
Well, I've just started a new job. Because actually I felt like I've done a lot of time within critical care, so it did make me rethink, what do I want to do going forward? Where do I want to go? And actually, I'm sort of in a new role where I'm going to be training nurses going forward. So, I suppose my aspirations have changed, and I've got high expectations for people that I'm going to be working with and training.
And are you enjoying it?
Well, it's week 2, so it's very early days. It's very different.
Yes. Well, I wish you luck with that, but wonder how you got involved with this book.
So Millie found me through Facebook. I think she'd found my story on the Knitted Hearts. I put out a small plea through social media, just asking a few of my friends if they would just crochet some hearts for the families of people who, were sadly dying alone, so that they could be left with a knitted or crocheted heart, and then, the other one we would post out to their family. So I think Millie had seen my plight on social media, and, when we were going through the second wave of COVID, she sort of got in touch and said, she was writing this book and would I be willing to, share my story with her about how I came up with the initiative and how the hospital supported the project. So, yeah, so that's all where it came from, really.
And why did you want to tell your story, Laura?
I'm a very vocal person anyway, so anyone who's willing to listen to me, I'm more than happy to share a story. I've got many a story. I just think people are curious, aren't they, to really know why and how we did do what we did. So, and I think, Millie's sort of captured the essence of that, and everything that I have said is, that's my own personal viewpoint. It's my own personal journey. It by no means reflects what everybody else was going through at that time.
Yeah, and it sounds like you're happy with the book now it's out.
I'm really pleased with what Millie's achieved, and I'm really excited to equally read other people's experiences through COVID.
Oh my goodness, it all comes back, doesn't it? Just listening to Laura talk there about those red knitted hearts and PPE and just how tough it was in ICU. That was nurse Laura Kirby-Deacon from the Great Western Hospital sharing her experience of the pandemic on BBC Radio Wiltshire. If you'd like to read her story in full and read the stories of many others affected by the pandemic, then you can find it in the new book, Unlocked: Portraits of the Pandemic. It's by Swindon author Millie Stone. And tomorrow we're going to be hearing the remarkable story of Becky Harrison, who lost her sight during lockdown. So that's tomorrow right here.
Sue Kinnear.